Hey everyone, Mark and Joey here on a Thursday morning, creeping closer to the NFL season. Matter of fact, exhibition games. There was one last week, which was much more of a high school game. But getting into some exhibition games here, we know there's going to be lots of non-stars playing. But you know what? It's football, and we're ready to go for the season. And so we're going to cover one of the team's camps here. First, I want to mention the website, ultimatesportschannel.com. Go on there and make that your opening page every morning. We have a whole series of sports news every single morning, a brand new news feed with all the current stories happening. Obviously, we can't cover them all here in our podcast, so jump in there. And there's lots of sports that are not kind of in the frame mind of the professional sports that we deal with every day, but they're great to watch and great to see. Matter of fact, I saw the Ultimate Pizza Contest run by ESPN. Ocho, you said it was called?
The Ocho. It's from Dodgeball, the movie
Dodgeball.
Oh
my God, it is hilarious. So we're going to see if we can use some of that. Most of it's probably copyright, but if we can find some video that's not, we'll put it on the channel. It was hilarious. These pizza guys, they spend their whole life, it seems like, doing this. It was incredible. Anyhow, I also want to mention a sponsor, benshot.com. Go to our website. You'll see a sponsors tab there. Click on the link there to get it. They make these cool beer mugs. Perfect time for football. These glasses as well for the little bit harder liquor. And but they embed stuff inside the glass. It's really cool. The one I looked at this morning with a golf ball. And so lots of fun with that. Now, you got to go through the link on our site because we've negotiated a discount for you, which we always do. Don't go directly to the company. You won't get that discount. So go through our site to find that. So anyway, let's get into our little bit of a beer drinking sport. Our every weekend Sunday football along with Thursdays and Mondays, but the big day being Sunday. And we're covering all the camps. We're down to one division and one last team here to do in the New England division. And of course, we call them one last team because that's where they usually finish. And that's the Buffalo Bills. Oh my God. You're telling me they're going to be way better. I actually didn't even read their camp information because I just assumed Buffalo, they're going to be in last place. And I followed some of the other changes that happened in the division. So I'm going to let you talk about Buffalo because you've heard and read some different things that might be a difference maker.
First off, I'm going to give Michael Robinson a shout out. He was on Good Morning Football, and I think he's said on every network, so it's out there. He predicts the Buffalo Bills will win the division, the AFC division.
He got paid money to say
I'm not gonna go that far. I think they're a wild card team, though. I think they have potential for a wild card team. I think they're better than the Jets.
Well, it's always wild in Buffalo. There's no doubt
I think
about
they're
that.
better than the Jets.
Crazy.
First of all, Buffalo's defense, we know they're very, very capable. We also know playing at Buffalo is an absolute nightmare for every team.
Including Buffalo.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. But their defense is amazing, but these offensive signings have been incredible for Josh Allen. They've gone out and gotten running backs, they've gotten receivers. Actually, I'm going to list a couple here just so I can contradict him. First of all, TJ Yeldon at the running back position. Now, what does that do? It's just a good add-on to LaShawn McCoy, and then you also added Frank Gore. So they got really three-headed monsters. Two old guys, a young guy, TJ Yeldon.
Frank Gore's a grandfather, isn't he?
Man, yeah. TJ Yeldon's also one of those out of the James White types of running backs. He's a receiver running back. So you got some weapons back there. I think they're just going to run the carousel. They're going to run it all season long. The three running backs there and go from there, which helps McCoy and Gore, who are older, to have the rotation, but they're still powerful backs that when it comes down to red zone, 3rd and 1, so like that, they can easily get those yards. And then
Buffalo ever get in the red zone?
Yeldon could be the wide out running back here. Can even make some runs himself. So running back position looking very solid. The receivers, they signed Cole Beasley, obviously from the Dallas Cowboys. Was a great receiver for Dak Prescott. You got John Brown, who, by the way, a very underrated receiver. I really liked him, and his time in Arizona was wasted as far as I'm concerned because they couldn't have a quarterback. Yeah. Then they went out and got a couple tight ends. They went out and got receivers. They got Andre Roberts, who I'm also a big fan of. I think he could provide some problems. And then they also bolstered up their defense with some cornerbacks, safeties, linemen. They were already good last year. So I'm really liking Buffalo, and I think Buffalo can be very difficult to play if the weather gets really bad. It's obviously the worst weather.
The weather gets very bad.
Yeah, but it's worse than New England. It's worse than the Jets. It's not cold. It's snowy. It's windy. It's cold. It's ugly. Teams don't want to go there. They don't want to play there, so they're not very motivated to go and win. I think Buffalo is a wild card potential team. I still believe, like the Jets, they're just 9-7. They're just 8-8. So the wild card needs to come to them more than them stealing a wild card position. But again, tough games, absolutely. Providing problems, absolutely. And definitely exciting going towards the future. If this is Brady's last contract, which would take him 3 years, These teams are looking primed to take over this division when those days come. And any injury, obviously, to Brady or New England brings in a lot of question marks too. So these two teams, the Jets and Buffalo, are obviously going to cause problems this year. I like Buffalo a lot. I think they're definitely saying the wild card comes to them. And what I mean by that comes to them, I mean 9-7. They're not being better than that. Neither are the Jets. But if wild card comes to a 9-7 team, these can be the teams to do it. Buffalo is definitely one of those teams. I'm real happy with the signings. And playing in Buffalo is a nightmare for teams coming to visit.
Yeah, except for the fact that it hasn't been a nightmare for teams coming to visit because Buffalo's terrible. I don't see a bunch of change. They picked up a bunch of guys that other teams kicked to the sidelines. That doesn't make for a better team. I don't even know how you're comparing them to the Jets. They got Le'Veon Bell, the best running back in the league.
Oh my God.
And you're talking about a bunch of guys kicked to the sidelines, two of them that are grandfathers.
So
like,
overrated.
really? Come on, Joey, you're really reaching here. The guy who made this prediction got paid by Buffalo to do it. There's no doubt about it.
Well, he has me believing.
There isn't a single person in football that thinks Buffalo will be a wild card team. All it is about Buffalo is just a miserable experience to go there and play football in that stadium. I went one time, we tailgated. My buddy was a Buffalo fan. We took a bus down there, froze our asses off tailgating. Like, I've never seen, I mean, these are the hardiest people in the world. They do tailgate in the worst weather. I just wish these fans could go somewhere else and be able to be fans of a team that was any good. Buffalo is the ones that get to kick themselves in the butt every year and be terrible. I feel so bad for those fans. They're so loyal. And then we went to the stadium. We want to talk about will they ever play good? Build a dome for God's sakes. This stadium's 150 years old. And I sat in the end zone while the wind blew snow right in my face for the whole game. It's just a brutal place to play football.
First of all,
anyway,
Josh Allen or Sam Darnold? I'd rather have Josh Allen.
Le'Veon Bell and Darnold over Josh Allen and whatever recycled person you just mentioned. So anyway, Buffalo last place. There's no doubt about it. Unfortunately for the
behind
fans,
Miami,
behind everybody. I feel so bad. I feel so bad for Buffalo fans. You've had to suffer. You did have Jim Kelly, though, for a big career there, who took you to the Super Bowl 4 times. And even though you lost, you got to go. So maybe you're being punished for all those good years. But this year is no better than any other year. I'm sorry, fans. Spend all your time trying to convince your politicians to build a dome so at least when you're bad, you can sit in comfort and drink together and watch a bad team.
He only hates Buffalo because the one game he went to got snow in his face 4 hours, guys.
No, I watched him play.
No. Let's be honest. You have pent up anger and you're old, so you don't let stuff go anymore.
You
don't move on.
I feel sorry for those fans.
Buffalo, man, I think you're going to have a chance this year. You're in the playoffs a couple years ago, Tyrod Taylor. I think you got potential.
Do you know that they have people at the border stop Buffalo people from leaving to watch other NFL teams?
There's no border.
They're not allowed. They just in Buffalo. It just stops them from leaving on Sundays. They're not allowed to go and watch good football teams.
You're making stuff
Anyways,
so
Buffalo last place. It's nothing different than any other year, and I feel bad for the fans, but that's the way it's been. And like I say, you did get 4 of the greatest years of Jim Kelly, who, by the way, shout out to Jim Kelly, and just one of the best quarterbacks to not win a Super Bowl. Always felt so bad. He should have won one. He was just a fantastic quarterback. Unfortunately, that's the last time you had anything good happen in football, which is too bad. And hopefully they'll be able to solve that one day. It's not this year. Sorry about that. That wraps up the division. Not surprising. New England at the top. Jets second.
I don't think anyone's taking you down.
Miami and Buffalo scraping on the bottom. And at least people in Miami get to live in Miami and go to games there.
Are tied for second. Similar records. Maybe, Buffalo is 8-8, Jets are 9-7, but neither of those teams are going to be above that. If we believe,
are you talking about a 2-year total?
If we believe in the New England Patriots,
we do.
I think everyone
we do. Yeah. So there we are. That's another division. We got one more to go that we'll get done next week as we start to head into the middle part of exhibition season, and we're only 4 weeks away from getting this whole thing started, which will be fantastic.
Prep yourselves because the other division is Atlanta, and he has a lot of hate for them, and Cam Newton, he has a lot of hate for them. So just get ready for a bunch of hate on good players.
Now, most people would call that objective news reporting. All right, we'll be back with the final division in our lineup of camps for this season.